You ever think you're the main character? You walk into the room like you built it, like the walls owe you something, like power is permanent. Malik Royce did. He was 34, a black man in a blue suit, VP of Operations at Hensley Tower Company, downtown Atlanta, glass-walled office, corner view, elevator key access. He moved like he earned it, like no one could check him. A brutal battle for power, revenge, and justice unfolds. These aren't just stories. They're real lives, tore apart by secrets. We dive deep into chilling disappearances, unsolved crimes, and the truths buried beneath the surface. Because in the world of true crime, nothing is ever as it seems. And the ending? It will stay with you. Subscribe, share, and join us as we unravel every hidden clue. That morning, the lobby smelled like pine sol. It always did. The kind of clean, that meant someone stayed late. Or came in early. Mr. Ellis was mopping. Brown skin, gray hair, old school Atlanta Braves cap. Didn't say much. Didn't need to. He'd worked that building longer than Malik had been alive. Malik didn't even look at him. He just stepped around the mop water. Fast. Like even a second near a janitor might stain his suit. At 9:13 a.m., the boardroom filled up. Quarterly review. Nervous smiles. Slide decks. Coffee cups shaking on mahogany. Malik stood at the head of the table. Sharp tie. Cold tone. He called it a realignment. But what he meant was cuts. Job cuts. 3 names on a printed list. All custodial. Mr. Ellis was one of them. Effective immediately, Malik said. Didn't even sit down. Didn't even flinch when Ellis walked in, holding a manila envelope. You got something for me? Malik asked. Ellis just stared at him, then placed the envelope on the table. Malik didn't open it. He just said the words. You're done here. You could feel the silence stretch, like it was holding its breath. Ellis didn't argue, didn't curse, didn't beg. He just nodded, picked up his mop, and walked out. The room relaxed. Malik smirked. He thought that was the end of it, but it was only the start. That afternoon, the building's Wi-Fi cut out. Then the parking system glitched. Then the elevators stopped mid-floor. Malik called down to the front desk, but no one picked up. By 4 p.m., tenants were leaving. No AIC, no security. The whole tower just stopped working. Malik drove to the management office, slipped on the same mop water from earlier. Furious, stormed through the front doors. No receptionist, just a man behind the desk. Familiar Braves cap. Ellis looked up, calm, like he'd been waiting. Malik froze. This isn't funny, he said. Ellis didn't smile. He pointed to the envelope Malik never opened. It's all in there, Ellis said. Malik finally read it. 1 page, 2 signatures. Title deed. Ellis didn't work for the building. He owned it. Inherited in '98. Leased it to the Hensley Group in '04. Built his wealth in silence. The janitor uniform? A disguise. He'd worn it every day since his wife passed. Said cleaning gave him peace. Malik sank into the nearest chair. Didn't speak for a long time. Ellis said one last thing before Malik left. You thought being above me made you better. Pause. But sometimes the higher you get, the less you see. That night, Malik didn't sleep. His past knocked louder than his future. 2 days later, Ellis showed up again. This time at Malik's church. Early service. Sat near the back. Didn't speak. Just watched. Malik didn't tell anyone, but his hands were shaking. Ellis had never been religious, not even spiritual. But suddenly, he was everywhere. The grocery store, the coffee shop, the gym parking lot. No words, no threats, just presence. Malik started digging. Into Ellis, into the building's records, into the city archives, and found something strange. Ellis had changed his legal name in 1999. Before that, he didn't exist on paper. And the original deed? Signed over to Ellison Bro. A name Malik's mother used to whisper in fear. A name tied to a house fire. A missing child. And a man who disappeared the year Malik's father died. So who was Ellis? Really? And why did he look so much like Malik's grandfather? They say when you bury secrets, they come back wearing someone else's face. Malik couldn't stop thinking about the name. Ellison Bro. It felt like a bruise from childhood. Familiar, unspoken, loaded. He dug deeper. Found an old court record from 1979. DeKalb County. Arson. 1 dead. 1 missing. 1 suspect never found. The missing child? 8 years old. Last name, Bro. First name, Ellis. Malik's father used to drink late and mumble to himself. About fire. About blood. About a boy they never should have left behind. Malik always thought it was drunken nonsense. Now he wasn't sure. He printed the case file. Took it to his mother's house. She answered in a housecoat and rollers. Eyes tired. Spirit heavier than usual. He didn't say anything. Just handed her the file. Her hands trembled before she even opened it. Mama, who is Ellison Bro? Silence. Then she sat down, like her knees couldn't hold the weight anymore. That's your father's brother, she said. Your uncle? Malik's breath left the room. He was left in the house during that fire, she whispered. Your grandfather told everyone he died. But the boy survived. Ellison disappeared for 20 years, then came back as Mr. Ellis, a name that sounded harmless, a face aged by time and quiet rage. Malik realized the truth. The janitor wasn't haunting him. He was testing him. The next day, Malik went back to the building. Security doors didn't recognize his badge. Office locked. His name removed from the directory. Inside the lobby, workers were repainting, replacing the logo, removing Hensley Tower from the wall. A new name went up, Bro and Company. Ellis stood at the top of the stairs. No mop, no cap, just a charcoal gray coat and a posture that filled the whole room. Good morning, nephew, he said. Malik stood still, didn't speak, didn't move. I've been watching you, Ellis said. You climb fast, same as your father. Then a long pause. And just like him, you don't always see the fire behind you. Malik looked around. Is this revenge? Ellis shook his head. This is legacy. He walked down the steps slow, every word measured. Your family left me in that house, burned, scarred, alone. But I didn't come back to hurt you. I came back because you were about to burn it all down. He handed Malik a folder. Thick, heavy, inside documents, memos, leaked emails, all with Malik's name. Misused funds, off the books accounts, shady contracts. Malik's stomach dropped. Where did you get this? Ellis didn't answer. He just said, you can lose everything, or learn from it. Then turned to leave. But Malik wasn't ready to let go. Why me, he asked. Why save me? Ellis turned back, eyes sharper than Malik had ever seen. Because I see myself in you. Pause. And I don't want either of us to die a villain. Later that night, Malik sat alone in his apartment, reading every page, sweating through every secret. He knew Ellis had enough to destroy him, but he also knew this wasn't about blackmail. It was about a test. But why now? Why resurface after all these years? Then he saw something buried in the last page, a hospital form from last month. Patient name, Ellison Bro. Diagnosis, stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Prognosis, terminal. Malik stared at the words, felt something collapse inside him. This wasn't just a lesson, it was a handoff. The next morning, Malik showed up early, wearing work boots, jeans, no suit, ready to clean, ready to learn. But Ellis wasn't there. The front desk said he hadn't come in, didn't call, didn't leave a note. They said the cameras caught something strange around 3:41 a.m. A figure in a long coat, walking across the lobby, alone, then gone. No one knew where he went. No one's seen him since. But here's where it gets strange. That same night, the building's basement was broken into. Nothing stolen. Just one room opened, the server vault, where Hensley stored sensitive backups. And inside, a drive, still running, labeled Bro_Archive. When Malik opened it, he didn't find business files. He found surveillance, letters, tapes, interviews, a whole case file about a fire from 1979, and a voice memo from Ellis. If you're hearing this, I'm already gone. But what you find next, Malik, will change everything you thought you knew about our family. And for the first time in his life, Malik was speechless. Ellis was gone. No forwarding number, no funeral notice, no closure, just a hard drive and a message. What you find next will change everything. Malik opened the folder called Bro Archive. The files were raw, unorganized, digitized scans from old VHS tapes, typed letters with cigarette burns, audio tapes labeled in blocky Sharpie. 1979/Night of Fire. Dad, drunk/basement. Mama, confession. Malik didn't sleep that night. He played the tapes on loop, watching, listening, trying to separate the smoke from the truth. One recording stood out, low quality, like it was recorded in a closet. A man's voice, young, nervous. It was Malik's grandfather. He was confessing to someone. I told him the boy died in the fire. I had to. Pause. He saw too much. Malik rewound it, played it again. He saw too much? Who? Ellis? What did Ellis see? What secret was so dangerous? It had to be erased. Malik's hands were shaking. He pulled up an old newspaper scan. Decatur fire destroys family home. One presumed dead. Photo. Charred remains. Tiny caption. Mother and father survived. One child unaccounted for. Cause of fire under investigation. But in the city's sealed incident report, one line stood out. Secondary ignition source suspected. Akshalaram. It wasn't an accident. Malik followed the trail through the archive. Ellis had been investigating his own family for decades, collecting receipts, records, audio diaries. And there, in the last folder, he found a black and white photo, dated 2 weeks before the fire. It showed Ellis as a child, standing next to someone, older, wearing a suit, eyes shadowed. But on the back, one line, written in blue ink. Uncle Roy said he'd keep quiet. Leet. Malik's mouth went dry. Roy, that was his grandfather's brother, the man who used to send birthday cards with no return address, the one they never talked about. He was there the night of the fire. Malik found another recording. Ellis again, older now, clearer. He tried to shut me up. He thought I'd forget, but I didn't. Another pause. The fire wasn't about me. It was about them. Suddenly it all clicked. Ellis wasn't the target. He was the witness. And someone tried to erase him. Malik felt a chill. Legacy wasn't just about buildings or bloodlines. It was about truth and who survives it. The next day, Malik went back to the building. The bro name still on the wall. Ellis still missing. But someone new was waiting at the front desk. A woman, older, calm, wearing silver earrings shaped like flames. You must be Malik, she said. He nodded. Did Ellis send you? She shook her head. I sent him. She handed him a sealed envelope. On it, a single word, judgment. Inside, a flash drive and a photo of a woman Malik had never seen, holding a baby. On the back of the photo, a name, Danielle Bro, and next to it, she's your sister. Malik looked up, but the woman was already gone. He turned in a slow circle, surrounded by glass, stone, history, and secrets. Ellis hadn't disappeared. He just passed away to the truth down. And now Malik held a family he never knew, a story no one wanted told, and a fire that never stopped burning. Malik stared at the photo, a baby in a woman's arms. His name written on the back, next to hers. Danielle Bro. A sister? Another one? Or the only one? He'd never heard her name, never seen her face. But something in her eyes looked familiar. Sharp, focused, knowing, like she already knew him. And the woman at the front desk. Who was she? Why did she say she sent Ellis? Malik opened the envelope again, took out the flash drive. No label, no hint, just a tiny metal weight, filled with consequences. He plugged it in. No folders, just one video file. Judgment underscore MOV. He clicked play. The screen turned black. Then a flicker, grainy footage. VHS quality. A man stands in front of a courtroom podium, face half lit, wearing a county badge. Behind him, rows of cardboard boxes, marked evidence. Malik recognized him. It was Uncle Roy, and he was testifying. The fire covered everything, Roy said. That was the point. I told them, if they wanted the problem gone, it had to look like tragedy. Pause. I didn't know the boy survived. Malik's stomach turned. This wasn't just about Ellis. It was bigger, deeper, older. Behind Roy in the video, a woman walked into frame, holding a clipboard, younger then, but Malik's breath caught in his throat. It was a woman from the front desk. Her name appeared in the trial caption. Danielle Bro, state witness. Danielle, his sister. She'd been here the whole time, working the angles, following the fire. And Ellis? He wasn't the only survivor. He was just the one loud enough to be heard. Malik tried calling the number left in the envelope. Disconnected. No voicemail. No trace. He went back to the building, asked the receptionist, "Do you know the woman who was here yesterday?" The girl blinked. There was no one here yesterday. He checked the footage. Security tapes corrupted. Lobby camera blacked out from 9:31 to 9:48 a.m. Right when she appeared. Right when she vanished. Ellis had done it before. Now someone else was doing it too. He pulled up the Bro archive, scanned for Danielle's name, found a single mention in a transcript labeled, Ellis, final interview. The quote, "I didn't raise her, but I watched her grow. She knows the truth, but she's waiting to see what he'll do with it." Ellis wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about Malik. Danielle hadn't been hiding. She was studying him, tracking his rise, waiting for him to find the matchbook at the bottom of the family story. And now she wanted to see if he'd light it. The next morning, Malik woke up to a knock. No doorbell, just slow, firm knocking. 3 times. He opened the door. An envelope sat on the floor. No return address. Just a wax seal, deep red, stamped with the initials, DB, inside. A newspaper clipping from 1981. A faded photo of a baby, Malik again, a burner phone, and a note, "Call me when you're ready to burn all down." But it was the clipping that hit hardest. The headline read, "Baby found at fire scene, placed into protective custody." The byline, Danielle Bro, reporter, Metro Tribune. Malik sat down, slow, shaking. He wasn't the heir of the family's empire. He was a product of its damage. He hadn't just inherited the building. He inherited the lie. His phone buzzed. Blocked number. He answered. A voice spoke. Calm, low, precise. "You were never supposed to find the tapes." Click. The line went dead. Malik looked around. The air felt heavier. The walls smaller. The past closer. He checked the burner phone. No contacts. Just one scheduled alarm. Tomorrow, 3:41 a.m. The same time Ellis vanished. And then, at the very bottom of the inbox, one unsent draft. A message typed, but never sent. "I think someone else made out of that fire too. And they're not watching anymore. They're coming." 3:41 a.m. The burner phone buzzed. No ringtone. No vibration. Just a screen lighting up. One message. From a contact labeled, ASH. "Come alone. Basement level. Bring the photo." Malik didn't sleep. Didn't eat. He dressed like he used to when Ellis was alive. Muted hoodie. Sneakers. Heart pounding. The building was quiet. Security asleep. Or pretending to be. Basement level. Same one that once held Ellis's archive. Now empty. Echoes in every corner. A single bulb swung above a metal table. And on the table, Danielle, alive, present, waiting. You came, she said. He nodded, clenched the photo in his hand. Is it true? He asked. Are you my sister? She looked at him. Not soft, not hard, just honest. Yes, she said. And no. Silence, thicker than smoke. I'm not your sister by blood, she continued, but I am your family. I made sure of it. Malik stared at her. What does that even mean? Danielle reached into a box beside her, pulled out an envelope. Inside, legal documents, guardianship transfers, protective custody forms, and one worn-down case file, marked B17/infant survivor, Decatur fire. Malik flipped through photos of himself as a baby, hospital reports, one redacted line after another. Danielle pointed to a signature at the bottom of one page. Danielle Bro, witness, reporter, temporary guardian. You pulled me out of the system. She nodded. I pulled you out of the ashes. Malik's eyes burned. I don't understand. Why me? Danielle looked down, hands shaking slightly. Because you weren't supposed to survive. Silence. Then, neither was I. The fire? It was never about one person. It was a cover-up for a land grab, a development deal, and a generational war inside the Bro family. Malik's grandfather had turned whistleblower. Ellis tried to warn people. Danielle? She lit the first match. She didn't start the fire that burned the house. She started the investigation that made the fire necessary. I exposed them in print, she said, and they retaliated in flame. They tried to kill her, but she wasn't home that night. Ellis was. Malik was. They thought killing the kids would end the bloodline, she whispered. They didn't know we'd come back. Malik staggered backward. The ground felt unstable. The truth too heavy. You knew all this, he said, and you let me find it alone? Danielle looked up, eyes glassy, cold fire inside. You had to be ready. Pause. Then, Ellis knew that. Malik's voice cracked. So where is he? Where's Ellis? Danielle stood, walked to the corner of the room, pressed a panel. The wall clicked open. A hidden door. Behind it, a tunnel. Dark, narrow, smelling of mold, memory, and secrets. He's down there, she said. He never left. Malik stared into the black, breath shallow. Alive? Danielle didn't answer. Instead, she held out a single match. Real, wooden, old. She pressed it into his palm. Some legacies get passed like torches, she whispered. Ours get lit. Malik stepped into the tunnel, walls closing in behind him, the match tight in his grip, the door sealed. Darkness swallowed him. Then, a flicker, just ahead, not a flame, not quite, a glowing monitor, fuzzy footage playing on loop. Ellis, in a chair, looking directly at the camera. If you're watching this, he said, then I'm either dead or they think I am. Malik moved closer. The monitor sparked. Ellis leaned in. You're not the only one who survived, and you're not the only one they want now. Suddenly, a new screen lit up beside it. Live security feed. Malik's apartment. Someone was inside, rummaging through drawers, wearing gloves, wearing his grandfather's jacket. Ellis's voice came back. One final line. You have to choose, Malik. Save your past, or save your future. The tunnel curved downward, cold, damp, silent, except for Malik's breath, and a slow drip of water echoing off stone. The monitor flickered behind him. Ellis's warning burned in his ears. You're not the only one who survived. He held the match tighter, a useless weapon, a symbol of the fire that made him, the fire that nearly ended them all. Step by step, the air changed, from musty to metallic, like rust or dried blood. Then, a sound, soft, not human, a scraping, like nails on old concrete. Malik froze. Ellis, he called. No answer, just a scraping. Closer now, he reached a metal gate. Beyond it, another room, lit by one swinging light bulb. and someone sitting beneath it. Not Ellis. A woman, hands cuffed, ankles bound, eyes wide. She looked like she hadn't seen daylight in years. She lifted her head. Malik, he staggered back. He knew that voice, but not from life, from tape. That was Ellis's mother, the woman who supposedly died in the fire. "Help me," she said. Her voice was cracked. "Hollow, I've been down here since it happened." Malik's knees went weak. His mind raced. They'd said she perished, identified by dental records. The obituary was printed, but she was here, breathing. "I didn't burn," she whispered. "They buried the wrong body." He rushed forward, shaking, undid the cuffs, hands trembling. "How? Why?" She clutched his wrist, eyes fierce now, "Because I saw who lit the fire." Pause, and it wasn't Danielle. The room tilted. "Danielle? The one who saved him?" She continued. "It was someone inside the family. Someone we trusted." Malik felt his pulse in his throat. The monitor behind him hissed again. Ellis's voice came back on loop. "Save your past, or save your future." Then, from the tunnel entrance, footsteps, heavy, slow, deliberate, a silhouette appeared. Familiar height. "Ellis." Malik called, but the figure didn't answer, just kept walking, until it stepped into the light, and Malik froze. It wasn't Ellis. It was Roy, his uncle, the one from the tapes. "Time's up," Roy said, voice cold. He held something in his hand. Not a gun. Worse, a lighter and a small silver canister, labeled accelerant. Malik stood between Roy and the woman. "You're not doing this again." Roy smiled. Not cruel, just tired. "You think I want any of this?" he said. "Do you know what your grandfather built on? Do you know the kind of blood money this building is standing on?" He lit the flame. "I'm not burning it all down again. I'm just making sure it doesn't crawl back up." Malik lunged, knocked the canister out of Roy's hand. They struggled, fell. The match flew. The flame hissed out. The woman screamed. Then, a voice from the darkness. "Stop." Danielle stepped into view, holding a gun, pointed at Roy. "I told you not to come down here," she said. Her voice was steady, but her hands were shaking. Roy stared at her. "You always were loyal to ghosts." She looked at Malik. "He's not just your uncle," she said. "He's your real father." Silence, like a detonation in the heart. Malik couldn't breathe, couldn't move, couldn't think. Danielle stepped closer, gun still raised. "I didn't light the first match," she said, "but I'm ready to light the last." Roy smiled one final time. "You never had the stomach." She pulled the trigger. Click. No bullet, just a bluff. Roy charged. Danielle didn't flinch. She sidestepped. Malik raised a match instinctively and struck it. The flame roared to life. He held it in front of Roy. Eyes locked. "One more step," Malik said, "and this whole tunnel lights up." Roy froze, breathing hard. He looked at the woman on the floor, then at Malik, then at Danielle. "You still don't get it," he whispered. "This isn't about one fire. This is about a chain reaction." And then, from behind them, a deep groan of metal, a second tunnel door sliding open, and out stepped Ellis, alive, breathing, eyes sunken, haunted. "Put it down, Malik," he said, soft, measured, heavy with knowledge. "Because if you light that match, you burn the one person who still knows everything." Malik turned to Danielle, to Roy, to Ellis, to the mother on the floor, and knew he didn't know who to trust. Not anymore. Ellis stood in the doorway, alive, breathing, but something in him looked burnt, not on the skin, in the soul. "Put the match down, Malik," he said again, quiet, like a prayer. Malik's hand shook. The tiny flame danced, one strike away from becoming a blaze. "I don't know who to believe," he said. Danielle, Roy, his supposed father, and the woman on the floor, Ellis's mother. alive but silent now, staring into nothing. "You don't have to believe anyone," Ellis said. "You just have to listen." He stepped closer, hands raised. No threat, only sorrow. "I didn't die because of the fire," Ellis said. "I died because no one stopped it." Malik lowered the match, only slightly. Ellis turned to Roy. "The land was stolen," he said, "from black families, parcel by parcel, flame by flame." Danielle closed her eyes. Malik saw the weight drop on her shoulders. She already knew. Roy didn't deny it, didn't flinch. He just said, "Your grandfather signed the first deed." Silence. A history no one wanted, passed down through silence and survival. Ellis nodded. He was promised equity, ownership, power. But when he resisted, they tried to erase him. Danielle whispered, "That night wasn't just arson." Malik looked at her. "What was it then?" "A purge," she said, "to make room for the future." Malik's mind blurred. He saw the building, all its tenants, all the people living in the bones of that lie. So why now? He asked, "Why come back now?" Ellis looked directly at him, eyes full of ash and purpose. "Because this building's about to change hands." Malik's chest tightened. "It's going corporate," Ellis said. "They're washing the past clean. For condos, for capital, and everyone left will be displaced." Danielle stepped forward. "I've been tracking the buyers. They're tied to the same group that funded the first fires." Roy cut in. "They're not just buyers. They're cleaners. Everything you think you know, they'll erase it with a press release." Ellis looked at Malik. "Only Malik. But we have the files," he said. "Names, dates, contracts, eyewitnesses." Malik's voice cracked. "Then let's release it." Ellis paused. Danielle looked away. Even Roy shifted uneasily. "There's a price," Ellis said. "What kind of price?" Danielle answered. "To release the truth, you have to sign away your rights to the building." Malik blinked. "What?" "You're the last heir," she said, "to the original deed, to the entire block." The woman on the floor stirred. She looked at Malik, voice thin. "They left in your name," she whispered. "Thought would keep you quiet." Ellis stepped forward. "Sign it over to the press? They tell your story, and the fire gets justice. Keep it, you get money, safety, a future, but silence." The flame in Malik's hand shrunk, the match almost gone. He looked at the building plans on the wall. He saw a future paved over, and a past dug up like a grave. What would Ellis want? He asked quietly. Danielle said nothing. The woman on the floor closed her eyes. Ellis looked at him and simply said, "I'd want you to decide." Malik dropped the match. The flame hit the stone and vanished, but a new fire lit behind his eyes. "I want proof," he said. "Every document, every file." Ellis nodded. "There's a safe." He turned to the far wall, lifted a brick, pressed his hand to a hidden pad. With a hiss, the wall shifted. Inside, a metal safe. Thick, heavy, government grade. Malik stepped closer, typed in a code. It clicked open. Stacks of documents. Flash drives. Old tapes. At the bottom, a small velvet box. He opened it. Inside, a signet ring with the Bro family crest. And a second set of initials. M.A.B. Malik Anthony Bro. His name. The woman on the floor looked up. "You were always meant to inherit it," she said. He slipped the ring on. The weight felt ancient, like generations, like judgment. But as the final document was pulled from the safe, a red light blinked behind it, a tiny device, beeping. Danielle's eyes widened. "Is that?" Then, a boom. Dust exploded from the far end of the tunnel. The floor shook. Lights flickered. The safe slammed shut. Smoke poured in. Sirens echoed above. A voice crackled from overhead. Synthetic. Female. Chillingly calm. "Emergency protocol activated. Evacuation required." Ellis turned to Malik. "Someone else knew we were here." Danielle backed up, grabbing the old tapes. Malik held the box. The smoke burned his eyes. Roy was gone, vanished. The woman on the floor whispered, "He's going to the press." Ellis froze. That's not what he wants to do. Danielle turned to Malik. "He's going to make it look like we died down here." Then Ellis's voice hardened fast. "There's a second exit. Go now." But Malik didn't move. He looked at the box in his hands. The legacy, the cost, the smoke rose, and so did the stakes. The tunnel was gone, buried behind them, exploded shut. Danielle coughed into her sleeve. Ellis staggered, clutching the drives. Malik stood still, the box still in his arms. They had made it out, through the second exit, but not before the tunnel collapsed, not before Roy vanished. Malik stared at the alley behind them, hidden behind a bakery, steam rising from a cracked pipe, like the fire followed them out. Danielle checked her phone. No signal, no GPS, no updates. "We have to move," she said. Ellis didn't look up, just muttered, "We're ghosts now." She looked at him. "What?" He held up a burner phone, showed them a video already going viral. 3 dead in mysterious fire beneath Harlem Historic District. The headline read, "Footage, police tape, smoke, flashing lights." 3 names listed: Ellis, Danielle, Malik. Official, signed, filed. Malik's jaw clenched. They already wrote our obituary. Danielle looked at him. "No, they just gave us cover." He didn't respond. The only sound? A siren, somewhere far off. They ducked into an abandoned barbershop. Boards over the windows, dust in the air, old posters on the wall. Ellis dropped the drives on the counter. "Everything's here," he said. "Proof of the purge, the stolen deeds, the rezoning schemes." Danielle added, "And the contracts, names, who paid who to keep the fires coming." Malik sat down, looked at the box in his hands. The ring on his finger, still warm. What if none of this changes anything? He asked. Danielle met his eyes. "Then we still make it hurt." He nodded, but there was something else, a thought that hadn't left him. "What about Roy?" he asked. Ellis didn't answer, not right away. Then, "He's playing both sides." Malik looked up. "Why?" Ellis leaned back, closed his eyes. "I think he's trying to erase all of us." Danielle flinched. "He was the one who warned us," Malik said. "Yeah," Ellis replied. "Just like he warned my mother before she signed away her silence." Malik stood, anger rising. "You're saying he started the fire?" "No," Ellis said quietly. "He just made sure no one stopped it." Danielle's phone buzzed. Finally, a signal. She opened an encrypted text. Eyes widened. She turned the screen toward them. It was a surveillance photo from outside the press office downtown. Roy, holding a manila envelope and walking inside. Ellis went cold. "That's not where we agreed to release the files." Danielle shook her head. "No, that's the building for..." She stopped. Malik finished the sentence for her. "The redevelopment board." Silence. Then Ellis spoke. Hard. Flat. "He's selling the story." Danielle grabbed the drives. "We still have the originals. We go to the right press. The right lawyer." Malik didn't move. He stared at the photo again. Zoomed in. Not just Roy. Behind him, a familiar face. Danielle's. But she was standing right next to him now. "No," Malik whispered. "No, no, no." Danielle stepped back. "Hands up. That's not me." Malik looked at Ellis. Back to Danielle. "Then who is it?" Ellis moved toward her, slowly. "Your sister?" he asked. Danielle's voice cracked. "I never had a sister." But her face said otherwise. Malik's pulse pounded. He pulled out the flash drive again, slid it into a dusty laptop, started opening the files. Photos, receipts, testimonies, then one folder. Double ledger, internal cover system, password protected. He typed in, Ellis 1979, access granted. Inside, names, photos, backgrounds, and one photo, two women, identical, Danielle, and another, hair shorter, smile colder, same DNA. The caption read, Danielle Bro and Dahlia Bro, sisters, twins. Ellis swore under his breath. Danielle turned away. I didn't know she was involved. Malik stared at her. You never told me you had a twin. She swallowed hard. I thought she was dead. The laptop pinged again. New file uploading. Ellis clicked it. Footage. Grainy. Surveillance. A room. Men in suits. Roy among them. Dahlia. And Malik's mother. Alive. Sitting at the table. And smiling. The video audio kicked in. She said one line. With my son wearing the ring, we own every acre. The screen glitched. Cut to black. Ellis turned to Malik. Your mother, she planned this. Malik didn't speak, didn't blink. He just stood up, walked toward the door. Danielle called after him. Malik, where you going? He didn't turn around. Home, he said, or whatever's left of it. Every family has secrets. His just signed a lease. Malik walked through his old block. Everything felt smaller, but heavier. The corner store was gone. Condos instead. Glass windows. No soul. The mural of his uncle? Painted over. Replaced with a real estate banner. Coming soon. Heritage Residences. He knew that name. It was in the files. Under acquisitions. Owned by a shell company. Registered to Bro Holdings. He stopped. Across the street, the brownstone. His childhood home. Light on upstairs. Curtains drawn. His hand tightened on the gate. He walked up the steps. Knocked. Twice. No answer. Then a slow creak. The door opened. She stood there. Alive. His mother. Same eyes. Same necklace. Not a wrinkle older. Not an ounce of shame. Malik, she said softly, as if I called you here. He couldn't speak. She stepped aside. Come in, baby. He hesitated, then crossed the threshold. The living room hadn't changed. Old couch, plastic still on the lampshade, but everything smelled new, like fresh paint, fresh plans. She poured tea, sat across from him, like they hadn't buried her 10 years ago. Why? He finally asked. She smiled, small, cold, because the only way to keep the block was to leave it. He flinched. I needed them to forget me, she said. The city, the debt collectors, the cousins who thought they deserved a cut. She reached into a folder, dropped the deed on the table. Now we own it, she said. You, me, and the girl you don't trust. Danielle, he asked. She shook her head. No, Dahlia. He stared. She was always the smart one, she said. Meaner too, which helps. She played both sides. Let them think she was you. Let Roy think he was in charge. And now, he leaned forward. She slid another document across the table. A contract. Now we're building the future. Without fire, without lies, just power. He stared at the paper, saw his own name, already printed, waiting for a signature. You left me, he said, voice flat. I protected you. You buried yourself. I buried what we couldn't afford to carry anymore. Your father's debt. Your uncle's enemies. She leaned in. You want the truth? I didn't die for nothing, Malik. I died so you could come back as a king. Silence. He stood up. I already had a crown, he said. She tilted her head. What? He tapped his chest. My people, my street, my family. They were the ones rebuilding this place, piece by piece. You erased them. She didn't blink. History forgets poor people, she said. I just helped it move faster. The door creaked open again. He turned. Dahlia, standing in the hallway, wearing Danielle's jacket, her face blank. Malik stepped back. Danielle texted him once. Trust no one without the scar. He scanned Dahlia's face. No scar above the eyebrow. Danielle had one. From the night of the tunnel fire. You're not her. he said. She smirked. Wasn't trying to be. But you'd be surprised how easy it is. She walked forward, tossed him another file. Inside, photos, blueprints, bank wires. Half the neighborhood already sold, she said. Other half. She smiled. They just don't know they have. He turned to his mother. You're replacing people. She nodded. We're replacing chaos. The people who left, they never came back. But we did. He shook his head. You didn't come back. You snuck in. Dahlia laughed. And now that we're in, let me guess, he said. You're staying. She stepped closer. Voice low. This isn't about you, Malik. It's about legacy. His hand went to his pocket, touched the ring. His mother saw it, smiled wide. That ring means you belong to this, whether you sign or not. The front door burst open. Danielle, covered in dust, eyes wild, breathing hard. Malik turned, stunned. Two of her, one standing behind him, one just arrived. His mother stood calmly. Well, she said, this is awkward. Danielle pointed at Dahlia. She tried to kill Roy. Dahlia shrugged. He tried to sell us out. Danielle held up a phone. Livestream rolling. Broadcasting everything. This is over, she said. Malik turned to his mother, but her face didn't break. She reached into the drawer, pulled out a key. Took you long enough, she said. Danielle's eyes narrowed. What? His mother dropped the key onto the table, next to the deed. That key, she said, opens a vault. Malik stepped forward. What vault? She looked at both sisters, then at her son, the one under the church, the one they never demolished. And inside it, she smiled. Everything this city ever stole from us. Danielle's phone buzzed. Message from Ellis. Get out now. They traced the stream. She looked at Malik. He looked at his mother. But it was too late. Outside, sirens, shouts, boots hitting pavement. A voice on a megaphone. Come out with your hands up. Dahlia backed toward the kitchen. Danielle pulled Malik behind her. And his mother? She calmly lit a match, dropped it in the fireplace. The flames roared, and the floor began to tremble. The truth is heavier than the past, and the past is buried underground. Malik's hands trembled. The key felt cold. He stared at the heavy oak door under the church steps. The air smelled like dust and secrets. Darkness swallowed the stairwell. Ready? His mother asked. Her voice was steady, but her eyes flickered. Something unseen. Danielle and Dahlia flanked him. Tension crackled between them. They barely looked at each other. He slid the key in the lock. The old metal groaned, then clicked. The door creaked open. A stairwell plunged downward, stone walls tight and damp. They stepped inside. The air was cold. A low hum filled the silence. Malik's phone lit up. A message from Ellis. Get ready. Backup is 5 minutes out. His mother led, steps echoing in the abyss. Then light, faint, flickering. A room opened before them. Shelves lined with dusty ledgers. Old photographs. Stacks of papers. Danielle pulled a bundle free. Look at this. Photos of the block. Families. Faces. Names crossed out. Dahlia frowned. This is history. Our history. No, Malik whispered. This is evidence. The mother smiled. Proof. Proof what? Danielle asked. That the city didn't just build over us. They erased us. Destroyed our homes. Sold our land. Left us nothing. Malik ran his fingers over a photo. A young boy smiling. His uncle. A file caught his eye. Marked, Roy Ellis assets. He opened it. Bank accounts. Transfers. Money trail cold and clean. Roy was never just a tenant, his mother said. He was the key. Why hide this? Malik asked. She looked at him, eyes sharp, because the vault doesn't just hold proof. It holds leverage. Suddenly, footsteps above, voices shouting. The police. Danielle pulled out her phone. Stream it all. Make it public. Dahlia nodded. This changes everything. Malik's mother reached into a safe, pulled out a small black box, a single envelope inside, labeled to Malik. He opened it slowly. Inside, a single photo, a picture of a house, burned to the ground. His father's house. The note read, "I had to protect you from this truth too." Malik's breath caught. Everything made sense. The fire wasn't an accident. It was a warning. And now, the past was alive, breathing in the dark. Outside, sirens grew louder, boots on stone. Malik looked at his mother, at Danielle, at Dahlia. "We either end this," he said, "or let it destroy us all." The door shook. Voices yelled, "Come out! Police! Hands where we can see them." Malik's phone buzzed again. Another message from Ellis. "Malik, watch your back. Not everyone inside is who they say they are." He glanced at the three women. Question marks in every glance. The walls closed in. The vault was no longer safe. Trust is fragile. And in this family, it's breaking fast. The vault door slammed shut behind them. Darkness swallowed the hallway. Police shouted from above. But inside, silence. Malik's heart hammered. He glanced at the women around him. His mother's calm was unsettling. Danielle's eyes burned with distrust. Dahlia's smile was sharp, too sharp. He remembered Ellis's warning. Not everyone inside is who they say they are. Who can we trust? Malik whispered. No answer. Danielle broke the silence. "We need a plan." "First," she said, "we expose everything. Livestream every file, every photo, every ledger." Malik nodded. The truth had to come out. His mother's phone beeped. A message. "The deal is off. They're coming for the vault." She looked up, eyes cold. "No more playing." Dahlia stepped forward. "We finish this. Tonight." Malik hesitated. Something was off. His instinct screamed, but he pushed it down. They began sorting through papers. Names of families erased. Old deeds forged. Money funneled into shadow accounts. Danielle's voice shook. This is everything." Malik caught Dahlia's glance. Her lips curved slightly. Suddenly, a crash, a hole in the wall. Boots stormed in. Masked men. Malik's mother's eyes flickered. "Get ready." The women drew knives. Malik froze. One man stepped forward, pulled off his mask. Roy, breathing hard, eyes wild. "Game's over," Roy said. Malik's blood ran cold. "Why are you here?" Roy smirked. "To take back what's mine." Chaos exploded. Dahlia lunged at Roy. Danielle grabbed Malik. The vault became a battlefield. Papers flew. Glass shattered. Malik saw his mother slip away. He shouted, "Mom!" No answer. Roy pinned Dahlia down. "You thought you could play me?" Danielle fought back tears. "Stop." Malik's phone buzzed. Another message from Ellis. "Malik, run. They're coming." His chest tightened. The family was breaking. The legacy was crumbling. He grabbed Danielle's hand. "Let's go." But as they turned, a gunshot echoed. Dahlia screamed. Malik's world tilted. Blood soaked the ledger, and the vault held its breath. The gunshot cracked through the vault. Time stopped. Dahlia collapsed, blood blooming on her shirt. Malik's breath caught. The world tilted. Roy's face twisted, victory and fear tangled. He stared at the wound. Danielle dropped to her knees. Dahlia, her voice broke. Malik stood frozen. His mother was gone. The vault was silent, except for Dahlia's shallow breaths. "Call an ambulance." Malik barked. Roy smiled, cold and cruel. This is only the beginning. Suddenly, sirens flooded the halls. Backup had arrived. Masked officers stormed in. Command shouted. Roy raised his hands. "Fine, I surrender." Malik looked down at Dahlia. She squeezed his hand weakly. His phone buzzed. A message from his mother. "Malik, the block is yours. Protect it." His heart shattered and rebuilt. Legacy wasn't about power. It was about family. Outside, the neighborhood waited. breathing, watching. Malik stepped out of the vault. Sunlight hit his face. He looked up at the buildings, his home, and whispered, "This is just the start." If you believe in uncovering the truth and standing for justice, we'd love your support. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your voice matters, and you help make this community stronger. We'll be back with another case, right here on Unraveled Crime.